All right. Hello, guys. Hello. I hope my volume is clear. So let's get started. My name is Sala, as you can see by the channel name. Today we are going to go through the past week's price action and the trades presented in the past week. And first of all, I would like to present a risk disclaimer. Disclaimer: this stream is for education purposes only, not a financial advice. Trading is very risky, so manage your own decisions and your own funds. All right. So let's start by Monday. I'm an ICT trader, so those are exactly the concepts I use. And whatever I say today is not financial advice in any way. I'm still learning, I'm still growing. I can't advise anyone to do anything. All I'll be doing on this channel, hopefully, is going to be presenting my thoughts, my analysis, my habits, my actions that I took in a week, and how I see price moving. That's all I'm going to be doing. So I hope anyone who watches this has fun. So let's see. So Monday started around here. So not around here. Price first went lower and traded Asian low, then went higher, and that this was the Asian high. So once then the Asian kill zone ended and price just kept consolidating. And then after the London session began, in the first hour of the London kill zone, price went up, took out these local highs, created a new high, but didn't take out the highest high of the Asian session or of the Asian kill zone. And instead, price reversed, went all the way back down, took out the Asian low. That meant sell side for the day was cleared. After that, price reversed, but it didn't really go up. And as you can see, till the equity open, till the NY open and then the equity open, price just went around for this area, did not take up this high or this lowest low for the day. What happened? As the NY session opened, price did take out this high, then went lower. Took out these equal lows around here, these equal lows around here, but nothing significant until the equity session. I've already highlighted this because I made a short video for a reel for my Instagram. So these are exactly the pictures used on those. So I'm going to do my best to explain this. As I said earlier, London manipulated the sell. London manipulated the sell side liquidity, and but in NY session, we did not go back down below the London low. As you can see here, this is the London low. This is the London low. London kill zone low. But price did not go all the way back down because it didn't need to. It had in the London session we already had seen the major manipulation that we expected. Price as soon as the equity session opened at 9:30, this was 1 week above. The price took out all of these equal highs, local equal highs, and this was kind of a false manipulation that new traders would have seen and said, "Okay, let's short from here," and then they would have entered here, but they would have gotten back as price went back above because price wasn't actually primed to go any lower for the day. Price took out these equal lows after 9:30 open. Price made one last final push lower, took out this low, and then price was done for the day with the SSL. Then price reversed, and as you can see, this displacement upward, this wasn't just the best one because the a lot of experienced traders would have taken this buy, and this would have been very good buy for many experienced traders. But new traders, I don't think should take this buy because it's very risky. You haven't even seen a proper market structure shift, so it isn't recommended. But after this candle closure, above this candle, you can say, okay, that's a breakout market structure. And even above this high, you can also say that's a breakout structure. So any entry into this FVG over here, you could have entered and logged. And you can see that price kept showing you that price wanted to go above. So even if you didn't enter there, after this, after price cleared this low over with these two candles, with this candle, with this strong bearish candle, and then it immediately went up. It failed to, it actually did close candles below the 1 minute bullish FVG, but it doesn't matter. It cleared this as a sell, reversed. This was a very good displacement, consecutive upwards candles with an FVG and an IFVG. So as soon as price reversed and headed into this IFVG or even an FVG, whichever one you're using, you could have entered here and longed it till the London high. Price did not go all the way till the Asian high until much later in the day. As you can see, it did it in the PM session in the lunch hour. Price actually went and took out the Asian high in the lunch hour. And I will say this was a very good TA. But if you are a high IR trader, this wasn't the best area to be trading. And I don't look at any other time frames except the NY AM session. That's the only time frame I look at. I've listed my reasons down. Not the entry I would have taken, but the only one that would have given me my targeted ticks. Exactly. I would not have taken this entry, but this would have given me. I mostly target 500 ticks. This would have given. As you can see, it says 580 ticks. And that's why extending it. If you have a tech target and price is giving you more than that, and you're a new trader, I don't recommend that because at the start, I recommend not higher RR trades. I recommend trying to nail down your accuracy first. Because if you have a good accuracy, even with 1 RR or 1.5 RR, you can, if you can, because the point is to get wins. Because what happens with wins? Wins, first of all, of course, you'll be scaling up and making more money. But secondly, you'll be increasing your confidence. So if you have a higher trust in your setup, you will stick to it. You will stay with it. You will trust it. You won't have to think about it too much. You won't have to hesitate and worry and make mistakes because of that worrying. So I recommend the higher uh, hit rate, the higher accuracy. So keep the target small, even if like you can see, this was 250 ticks on the SL side and 580 ticks on the TP side. Even if it gave you 400 ticks, that was more than enough. That was more than enough because imagine if you have a small account. You imagine if you have if you're using one contract per trade. At start it will be bad, not bad. It will be still good, but at the start it won't be that much fun. But as you continue to scale up, as you continue to grow, that one contract you can increase that size. You can use two contracts or 1.5 contracts. But if you don't have enough trust in your setup, that won't help you. So first you need to have trust in your setup. So target lower RR, and that is something that I'm saying that I've been fighting with myself. I did recently even post a video in which I said, okay, if you have a lower hit rate, you should target higher RR. But I've come to the realization that that's false, and I've come to that realization in this week. I've consulted with my friend who's also a trader. I've seen his data, I've asked him around, and he's also at the same stage as mine. So it was very easy to, compare his data. It was very knowledgeable. So, and I realized that we shouldn't be targeting higher RRs. You should first be targeting higher accuracy, especially if you're an ICT trader, because if you're an ICT trader, if you're like you can get a pretty good hit rate. There was a time I was getting very good hit rate. The market was very good. It was, I think, in April. I think that month was very good, but the month of May was very bad. The price action sucked. But in April, price action was very good, and hit rate was going insane. And that's probably because I was I was actually targeting higher RRs, but was sticking to my setup. That's so. As you can see, this is also a good trade. Like if you don't really care about the IRR, like this is a good trade because the SL is very small. Because I my SL is 300x, and why is that? Why is that? I don't ever take my SL above 300x because I have seen through experience, through years of experience, that 300x is all you need for an SL in at least this market. 300x, if price goes 300x against you, then your setup is invalid or you are entering too early. So I'm comfortable with that. I don't like to increase that asset. That's perfect for me. Anything less than that is very good, but anything more than that, no. As you can see, price took the London high and then immediately started to break down because it had achieved its target for the equity session. And after that, it didn't really care. It just, as you can see, consolidated, did nothing. These equal lows. And then as soon as the no, actually right before the lunch hour started, price started heading up. Okay. And I will not break this down because that's not what I'm doing here. It will take too much time, too time consuming. But as you can see, all the liquidity targets for the day were hit, but buy side was taken first. All the buy side was cleared, and then buy side was taken and then low. So here we go. Tuesday has started. After this, Tuesday has started. These are the Asian lows. When were they taken? No, before London. Before the beginning of the London kill zone, the Asian lows were taken. Then what happened? Here at 2 a.m. NY time, the London session opened. Price went up but failed to clear this buy side target. Okay. London highs are already cleared here. London lows are already cleared here. So all the London kill zone liquidity was already wiped during this up and down, during this volatile movement. And I must say, yeah, I must put a disclaimer here too that on Tuesday we had CPI. So it was a dangerous trade to be trading before the news release, as you can see, as you will be able to see. Let's just continue. Okay. Uh, as soon as the London kill zone was over, price came down, took out the London low, but the London high remained, and then just zoomed around, failed to take the Tuesday low. No, not the Tuesday low, but the last US low. Zoomed around, took out this low, then headed all the way back above. And this long candle is the CPI release. This took price all the way up, all the way up, all the way above here. Now my time is the 9:30 open. That's when I trade. So even if there were moves here, because there were definitely moves here. I could have entered in this FAG after price went above here, took out this minor buy side, came back, caused market structure shift, CI, assist. Then I could have used this FAG or this FAG and entered a sell. I could have targeted the low of these candles because honestly, it was probably more than 500 ticks. But the issue is I wasn't even concerned with it because it's not my time frame for the trading. It's not when I trade. Because if there is a news release as 8:30 p.m., when the equity markets open at 9:30 p.m., price will have an effect then too of the news. So trading before that is just uh, I can't say stupid because I've seen it. I've seen it. Like you can risk it if you want to, but it's your choice. But price is still going to give you an adverse effect of the news at 9:30 open, even if the news was released at 8:30, because that's when the equity markets open. So the equity markets reflect the news separately too. So as you can see, NY Open CPI release took price up and cleared all the BSL for the day. Yes, all the BSL was cleared. Monday high was cleared, everything was cleared. These two equal lows remained here. So what did price do? At 9:30 over here, price made a small push lower below these lows, and then reversed and headed straight back up above this equal high. It could have gone up, and that would have been fine, but it didn't need to. It just needed to grab minor buy side. So the sellers, institutional sellers, put short below here, and then they entered the market here. This took price lower, and as you can see, took over here. And I would have been hesitant to enter here. This would have been my wouldn't have been my entry, even though it was a very good entry. Like you could have entered over here because market structure shift had already happened, and there was an IFAG and there were multiple FAGs. So it wasn't like a bad thing to enter, but I would have been a bit cautious. I did enter this setup actually. I entered over here from this FAG. So this is a bearish or a bearish breaker block. You could have also entered from here, but also entered from this FAG, which I forgot to line up. There are multiple ways to enter this setup. I did not enter from here. I wanted to see price come back with this first FHV that started after this leg lower. And this was way like you need to target. You only needed to target these equal lows, these small equal lows. You don't need to be concerned about all the liquidity because believe me, you don't need that. Stop going for higher RRs. I'm also a new trader. I'm a pretty new trader. I have a lot to learn right now. I have a lot of money left to make and this and that, and I'm still struggling with the trading thing, still struggling with the money thing. But I will say that you don't need it. You honestly don't. Like just imagine, just imagine. Like this is 720 ticks. You don't need that. Imagine you only took like 500 ticks right above the right below this NY open low. Now imagine on one contract. First of all, how much time did it take? How much time did this setup take? Okay, we are over this. Price came here and tapped here. Okay, so we will measure it from here. Here, this candle, yeah. That's 5 minutes. That's only 5 minutes that this trade took. 5 minutes it took to go to the T. Okay. Now 500 ticks. If you have one contract over that, that's $50. Now, if you have a bigger account and you're risking two contracts over it, that's $100. Now, if you are an experienced trader and you have like an even larger, suppose you have a 25K or a 50K account. If you have a 50K account, you're at least using 10 contracts. That's $500. That's $500. What more do you need? In 5 minutes. So you don't need a long range. Don't go for the long range. Just secure your win. After that, do not be concerned that I want to be buying here and taking this and that. No, you're done. You're done. Why? Market has already given you what you want. Why do you want to play around with it? Stop. Do not do it. Okay. Exactly. Equilibrium is cleared. After that, if you will be bothered, this was the high, and this was the equity open high. So price went back up, reversed, went back up, cleared it over here, cleared this up. But you should not be concerned. The setup is over. You honestly only need one setup a day. Do not go for 2 or 3 trades. I don't know why people are recommending others to go for 2 or 3 trades. Why pressure yourself? Like Just wake up whenever the 9:30 p.m. or 9:30 a.m. NY time session lines up with your time. Wake up, take this trade, or if you can't still find something, step away from the charts. Do something else. Have an have a life outside of trading too. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the Wednesday now. Zooming it out, I'll zoom it in. This was the yes. So first we'll go for the Wednesday. What happened first? The Asian kill zone started here. Started somewhere around here. Price made this high. After that, prices zoomed around. Got these equal lows. Failed to take these lows, but this just became equal lows. Thus Asian high. But as soon as the London session, London kill zone began, price went up, took out the Asian high, and then continued going up. So London manipulated the Asian high. Then as the London kill zone ended, price went into this deep consolidation, which took like 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. Like this happened on 4:30 and only at 8:30, like 4 hours. Price just consolidated. And then after 8:30 a.m., I think there was a news here too. Let me just confirm it. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so it was Thursday, right? No, it was Wednesday. So what happened on Wednesday? On Wednesday, yes. First of all, an FMC member spoke. No. This is actually wrong. Okay, on Wednesday, President Trump was speaking, but other than that, there was no big news. So no, President Trump was also speaking after the session was over, so it's not a big deal. So there was no news on Wednesday. But as you can see, after 8:30 open, price continued to go up. And what it did, it took out all the minor buy side uh, that price had been generated. It continued to head up and up, and even after 9:30 open, which happened here, price went up, made a high, and then one last push above this last high, and then went lower and lower, then came back up, took out this high, a secondary last push above minor buy side, then came this displacement low. This was very beautiful to see actually. I was actually in this trade too. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, as you can see, there's an IFVG here, an IFVG here, an IFVG here. So there were plenty of signs like creation of FVGs and IFVGs says that price. I'm still learning, I'll be honest. But it indicates to me that price wants to head in a certain direction. It says that price wants to move to these gaps. Like if there were no FVGs, no, what am I doing? Getting so confused. But these were good, especially because price didn't come back to this immediately. And then after it had made all these candles, taken this high, then it went back, did not stop around here, went all the way back, turned this into an IFG, and then did not return because it didn't need to. You don't need to like screw in every one of your entries. It's all right. This was a displacement, like a very beautiful displacement. Three down close candles. You don't always get three down close candles in a displacement, but when you do, it's very beautiful to see because that just shows that price is really bearish. And if you enter, then it's a pretty good chance that your trade will go towards your target. So what happened? As you can see, they waiting for this. Some people would have found it hard. Okay, oh, price has closed this candle down too. Maybe it will just continue down because the targets are just right there. So, but that was the part that was hard. Like you had to wait for this candle above to actually enter, to actually give you the proper RR, not the RR, the proper SL. Actually, the SL was very important. Suppose you had just entered here. This or suppose you had entered right as this downforce candle entered because you thought oh price would not come back all the way up to this FG. That would have when 220 ticks against it. A lot of people would have been nervous during the time, and people have different SLs. So who knows? Maybe would have gotten hit, or maybe we just wouldn't have the best order. Like then it wouldn't even be like this wouldn't even have been good. Like what? This is 20 250 ticks. Yeah, this is 250 ticks. For some people, that's nothing. Like that's not a good enough target to execute a trade. So some people would just left it alone, and that would have been actually better too. To just leave it alone, do not enter because you could have entered over this FG too. So if you had waited till here, you would have entered here. Then you would have targeted these equal lows first, as you can see. These equal lows. This low, this low, this low, this low. These are lows that got tapped but weren't really clear. And then these equal lows, as you can see. These. So there were plenty of entries in this. We have entered here and let's see if you get at least from ticks. Yeah. Is there a sell above here? Ticks? No. Still have been the best. Because the thing is I think this was the daily FPG. So yeah. It was squeezed it lower, but honestly, why risk it? Why would risk it? Still, the people who saw this entry, they got rewarded. And yes, I must say that 500x, this was 500x, which I actually took. I actually targeted 500x, I think. But you know, this is enough. 450x. This is more than enough. Believe me, this is more than enough. Okay. As you can see, yeah, I forgot to mention there was a lot more sell side load, London low. So you could have actually entered here and stayed with it if your target were these lows, because these are minor sell side targets. These are the major sell side targets for each of the sessions. So if you were holding on for the London or Asian low, even for the London low, you would have gotten your 500x, which is all. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Let's keep going. Here we go. Wednesday is ended. Let's go to Thursday now. Okay. Asian session began here. Began over here. Price made these highs, these equal highs, and then went low. Went lower, cleared these lows, these equal lows, did not go all the way down. And then around here, the Asian session ended. Asian kill zone ended. And for these few hours, this few time, before the London kill zone price went down, and yeah, these lows were cleared after the kill zone was over. But when the London kill zone started, price went up because these equal highs, these equal highs. Then it kept consolidating. So price didn't really do a lot in the low London kill zone. But before 8:30 open, price took out the Asian high. And then as soon as 8:30 p.m. NY open did start, price shot down, and it was probably because of some news event. Let me see. I think there was some. Let me remove that here. Yes, on Thursday we had PPI. Yes, PPI at 8:30, and also unemployment claims. So yeah, all that pushed price down. And while doing so, what did price do? It it had already cleared this minor Asian high, minor buy side level, but it cleared all of these sell side targets. London low, Wednesday low, previous day, and my open low. And that day I was expecting price to head back to. This was actually the daily FG because I remember this day. Price headed back down to this larger FG. While doing so, it cleared a lot of sell side, but after that was done, like it didn't need to head back down because I was expecting it to take these and then head back up. That's exactly what it did. So after that initial surge of liquidity, initial surge of volatility, price died down, kept consolidating, and then right here, this was the equity open. Now this is a gap on my chart, but this is not a gap on most people's chart because I'm using the one that aligns most with my top firm account. But if you see it over on this chart, you won't see that gap. But still, price made this low in the next candle, took out this low. There was still an FAG here. It tapped into this FAG, and also the consequent encroachment of the daily FAG then shot up. Then came right down, then shot up. And then what it did, this was the first presented FAG of the after the equity open. I highlighted this, these equal lows. I also highlighted this, and the funny thing is, there was a setup here. Like price actually touched below this low and actually tapped into the first FG. So if you were lucky enough to enter this, because this is a proper setup, this is displacement, FG creation, and there was liquidity above, sell side was already cleared, you could have entered this. Not 32 days, 300 ticks, 300 ticks. You could have targeted 500 ticks and it would have given you that. Easy, easy, no hustle. But the funny thing is, this was not the ideal setup for the day. This was just one of the setups. We have taken this or the better one that came afterwards, which was, as you can see, price created these equal lows, went back above, cleared a lot of this buy side and my open high, then the equity high that price made here because it was very slow and then went back up after 10 p.m. 10 a.m. And then I think there was the high over here. There was something there I'm forgetting maybe. But still, after that, price came back down. This was after the 10:50. This was in the 11 a.m. macro, which is as it states that is from 10:50 a.m. till 11:10 a.m. What happened then? Price came back down. There was no market structure shift, so this was a very risky entry if someone had entered. You could, but it was very risky. And it is for advanced traders, not for everyone. I don't recommend everyone do this and not try to do this. You could have waited, there was better entries. You will see. After this market structure shift, if you didn't take this entry, after this market structure shift, there was another FAG which aligned with the 5-minute IFAG, inversion fair value gap. You could have entered here, or you could have just entered in this FAG. You could have entered in right over here, right? As you can see, price failed to even close above any of the CE of this 5-minute FAG. Price was slow at first, but you got your entry before. According to me, this is what I do personally. I don't open a trade after 11:10 a.m. If it's 11 a.m. and 10 a.m. and I've taken positions or not taken a position, I'm dead. If a trade is open, I found an entry before 11:10 a.m., then that is the only entry and it will stick on. Like that trade will stay on, but I will not enter any more positions. I will not scale in. I will not do anything. Actually, I don't do scaling in right now. I'm trying to focus more on hit rate, not scaling in right now. What would happen? Price entered this, then continued to head down. This one last push higher and came back down. As you can see, this was very crash of the day. No entries. This was an FUG, but why were not traded, honestly? But as you can see, price then came back down. It was pretty fast after this small push up. It was pretty fast coming down then. And as you can see, what happened? These equals liquidity below these lows was right for the trading. So I said okay. So the first FUG which I city as a city states price gravitates to this. Price is behind it. Like if it's aligned with all the bias, then this is a very likely FUG the price will come to this. And as price did, what happened afterwards? Then price, as you can see, the target was achieved for you. Price is done. Price was actually done. Nothing exciting came afterwards. These equal lows got created, which I didn't outline. Not for me. This high got created, but I don't really care about this field. Not a part of my plan. Okay, what happened afterwards? Why is the Asian low not highlighted? Oh, as you can see, that is the Asian low, and as you can see, when did it get taken? Right in the London low. Right in the London kills. Beautiful to watch. Okay, this is the Asian low, but let's see. Yeah, Asian high got created here somewhere. This is the Asian high, but this got created. This was the Asian high. But price kept going up, so it got violated instantly. And then this was the London. This was the beginning of the London kill zone. Price created this high, then went all the way back down, hunted the Asian low, taking out the sell side, manipulated in the sell side of the Asian session in the London low. And afterwards, you can see price immediately fell into consolidation. Immediately, like took this low, tiny little tap, tiny tap, and then it fell into consolidation. After this consolidation, price started to head back up. Okay, but what happened later on? As you can see, now Friday comes. What was on Friday? Let's see if there was any news. Okay, Friday there was a lot of news. Core retail sales month over month, retail sales month over month, Empire State Manufacturing Index, which is not that much a volatile event. And then, yes, the most important event of the day was the consumer sentiment. That is why I did not take a trade on Friday. I'll show you now. Okay, as you can see, uh, this was a consolidation. Okay, but these were the generalized equal highs the price had made. We took at this high, but failed to go above all this. And when did that happen? Okay, it happened before the 9:30 open. This was a 9:30 open candle when what's the name of it? Yes, the retail sales numbers came. This took price all the way back down below the London low. Again, this is a very beautiful three candle dis displacement lower after clearing buy side. So if someone wanted to trade before the news release at 10 a.m., they could have entered here and then they could have stayed on till price took out the Thursday low, which is the sell-side target for the day. Even if you didn't enter here, there was another second entry like proper displacement, thick candles low with an FUG, with a cyst, could have entered here, then targeted Thursday low. Did not take that much time and offered very good RR, but you didn't need that. All you need was this. So that only took you 2 minutes. Let's make it 3 minutes. Okay? That only took you 3 minutes. It's very good. You don't need to stress it. You just need to be present every day to find these moves. Consistency will get you there, not forced trading. Okay. Now the issue is, okay, this setup, even though this setup is valid, but only for advanced traders. Like if there's consumer sentiment is a pretty rough news event. You don't really want to be trading before it. But if you were, this was okay. Afterwards, then price took out these two equal lows and then went back up. This was very beautiful. If there was no news, this would have been a perfect buy. Perfect buy. As you can see, price didn't even close in the FEG. It closed above the FEG, both of these candles. Now the issue is, this was the 10 a.m. candle. And as you can see, it went below this. So your SL would have been triggered. And I don't recommend keeping your SL like here or like, no, I don't recommend keeping your SL like here or here. No, I recommend keeping it at a low. But as this was news, it would have gotten violated. Thus, I recommend not trading before news. And as you can see, afterwards, there was really nothing to it. This was the only FEG. If price had actually come down to it, I would have bought it, but it didn't. Instead, price just kept going up, didn't really do anything, took out this high, did not even take out these equal highs, just checked around, didn't really do anything. As you can see, nothing, nothing, nothing. Like this, there is nothing. Like this would have been, yeah, 11:10. This would have been where I closed the charts. As you can see, there is nothing to trade here. Like, okay, price, okay, this entry, I would not have traded. There's nothing. There's no entry here. There's no IFG here. There's no entry. Like, this is nothing. After this high, a proper, but still, it would have, I don't think so. I wouldn't have entered. As you can see, I would have maybe even entered here because this cleared buy side, lower, displacement lower, FG creation entered here, target these equal lows. But the issue is, this wasn't offered, so there was no trade on Friday, in my opinion. If you could find it, good for you, in my opinion. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you so much. I will try to keep doing these live streams and hopefully in a few years these catch on. My only purpose here is to learn and to show my teachings and to keep, mostly to keep a record of my teachings. So I can come back to these when I'm hopefully a big and competent trader in a few years. Thank you so much. Bye.